My name is Colleen, and this is my kitchen. I've struggled with my weight my entire life. After trying every diet in the book without any success, I came to the realization that diets don't work. I started my journey at a size 26W, weighing just over 300 pounds. In almost a year and a half, I've lost over 120 pounds, and I am a size 14. No W. What's my secret? Eating healthy and moving more. Now I'm here to show you how you can cook healthy food without compromising on taste and lose weight just like I have. Because if I can do it, you can too.
Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight I have a really delicious Italian sausage and wild rice soup for you. It's a little bit spicy, it incorporates lots of great vegetables, so it's good for you while also being lean and fat and calories. So the first thing I want to do is I have my pot. I'm going to go ahead and heat that to medium. Now this is a non-stick stock pot, enameled cast iron pot, and so I don't need to add a lot of oil to it. I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of non-stick olive oil cooking spray. And then to that, once that heats up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add half of a sweet onion. Next, let's go ahead and add 2 carrots. And what I like to do when I add carrots to soup is go ahead and have them lengthwise, just like that. Kind of open them out, butterfly them out, and just take my knife and use that rocking motion to slice them up fairly thinly. This gives me nice bite-sized chunks. Next to my pan here, I'm going to go ahead and press in 2 cloves of garlic. I love to press my garlic instead of mincing it because it gives me lots of great juices that otherwise would just get caught on that cutting board. And then I don't have to peel the clove of garlic or anything. I can just put it whole right into that garlic press, and only the meat comes out of it. And then let's go ahead and start adding a little bit of flavor to this. I'm just going to add a pinch of coarse sea salt here. And I'm going to let this go ahead and cook up until the onions are about transparent. Once that onion and carrot have cooked up just a little bit there, now I'm going to go ahead and add a half of a pound of hot or spicy Italian chicken sausage. You want to make sure to use chicken, not pork, and use it sparingly. Generally, about 3 ounces raw, 4 ounces raw, 3 ounces cooked is the serving size of sausage per person. However, it's very salty, and it's also made with a fatter piece of the chicken, the dark meat, versus the white meat. So it's got a little more fat in it than I would normally use. So that's why I'm only using half a pound. Because I want to add some flavor to the dish, but I don't want to overpower it. So once you have that in there, now I'm just going to cook this up until the sausage is nice and crumbly and the onions have browned up a little bit. Once the sausage crumbles and cooks up, I'm left with these dark spots or food crusted to the bottom of the pan. And so you might think that that's a bad thing. You might think that your dish is burning, but it's really not, because all those little pieces that are stuck to the bottom of the pan are full of flavor. So what we want to do now is we want to go ahead and deglaze the pan. So I'm adding 1 cup of a dry red wine. Now, because we're using a spicy sausage, I want to make sure to use a wine that's full-bodied that will stand up to the heat of that sausage. So I'm using a Cabernet Sauvignon. I would recommend something similar. Once I pour that in, I just take my spoon and I go over the bottom of that pan, scraping up all those little bits, mixing them into that liquid, and it just adds so much flavor to the dish. So now what I want to do is just continue cooking it. I want that wine to to reduce down by half. All the alcohol will burn off, which is a good thing, but because that actually decreases the caloric value that the wine adds to the dish. Now that my wine has reduced down, I'm going to go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of tomato paste. Now I like to add this to the dish because it just adds some complexity and depth to the flavor. And so I'm going to add that in, stir it around, make sure that it really combines well in there. Next up, I'm going to add my chicken broth. Now, as you know, if you've watched my videos a few times now, you've seen this. I make my own homemade chicken and vegetable broth. Very, very easy. In my last blog post, I actually told you how to do that yourself at home. And the benefit of doing that is that I don't add any salt to my homemade chicken broth. So that allows me to add salt to the dish as I'm making it and get it to the right level versus being fed it by a store-bought product. So now I'm going to go ahead and add 6 cups of that homemade chicken broth. And then to that, I have 2 cups of chopped frozen spinach. I'm going to go ahead and increase the heat on my burner here because I want it to come to a boil eventually. I'm going to add 1 cup of wild rice. Now I really love the wild rice in this soup because it's a little bit denser, a little heartier than a normal rice, even a brown rice, and it has this great kind of nutty flavor to it that just goes really well in the dish. Then I have a can of no salt added diced tomatoes with their juices still in there. Go ahead and add that in. And now let's add some seasoning. I'm going to add a teaspoon each of dried basil and oregano. Perfect. So once that comes to a boil, what I'm going to do is then reduce it to a simmer, put a cover on it, and cook it for about 45 minutes until that rice is cooked through nice and tender. Our soup has cooked up beautifully here, so I'm going to go ahead and serve this up. Now, just so you know, this recipe does serve 6 people at about 1.5 cups each, and that is intended as an entree soup. I love to serve this just with a simple side salad to complete the meal. Nice and healthy, low fat, and absolutely delicious. I'm going to go sit down and enjoy my meal. I hope that you'll give this a try. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time in my kitchen.